We have our first phone caller of the night, Stephen from Bay County. He has an accident question. Stephen, you can go ahead with your question now.
Hello. I was just wondering why Brian Connors is so bad at fishing.
You know, Stephen, that's a great question.
Wow.
And you know, there's probably several reasons for it. You know, it could be the equipment he uses. It could be that maybe he picks the wrong kind of bait. It could be that it's a lot of times it's who's fishing with him. You
Look,
know, he's the type of guy that will bring a banana on his own boat, which we know is bad luck. But I mean, I don't think there's enough time in the show today to really go over and unpack how Connors, because last time we did the show, he was the 11th best fisherman in Bay County. I think he's down to like 15th now, so he's kind of slipping. But I think he's going to redeem himself. He's a sharp cookie.
Can anyone sue Brian if they go out with him, you know, and they don't get any fish? You know,
absolutely.
That's illegal.
Negligent promising of catching fish. Sure, yeah. That's a real claim.
There you go. See, we have another case on Law Call that we're going to have to solve probably
Courtney,
soon in the future.
You and I can talk after this, and we'll strategize.
We definitely will. We definitely will. Thanks, Stephen, for calling in. Again, we're talking about fighting the insurance company. So if you have a real question, do give us a call, 850-392-1544. We will take your questions live on air. And as always, you can email us to lawcall@WMBP.com. Since, guys, we're talking about insurance, the question I feel like I get asked out when I'm not a lawyer, but when I get asked, they're like, okay, you always say, look at your policy. What are we looking for in a policy? What are the key things to know? What should you have on your policy as a hands down, you know, on an auto insurance policy, this is what I need?
Well, the basic coverage in the state of Florida right now is you are required to carry $10,000 of property damage liability coverage. That is coverage to protect you in case you cause a wreck. There's $10,000 of coverage under your own policy to fix whatever it is that you broke. Cars these days are kind of expensive. $10,000 in property damage, if you total a vehicle out, there's a very high likelihood that you're not going to have enough property damage coverage in order to pay for that other person's vehicle, which may end up exposing you to paying money out of your own pocket. But that's what's required in the state of Florida, $10,000 of property damage, and then $10,000 of personal injury protection, which is abbreviated PIP. That is a medical benefit that pays your medical providers 80% of any treatment you receive after a wreck. So if you go to the hospital runs up a bill, they send the bill to your insurance company, your own insurance company pays 80% of that bill under your PIP coverage. And that's the only insurance you're required to have in Florida is $10,000 of PIP medical benefit to protect you and $10,000 of property damage liability to repair or replace the property that you damaged. There is no requirement that you carry anything else, which is very unfortunate in the state of Florida because there's a very high percentage of drivers out there that if you're involved in a wreck, there's a pretty good chance you're going to get hit by somebody that either has no bodily injury coverage or no insurance at all. Now, bodily injury liability is the type of coverage that you would have on your policy. If you cause a wreck, you injure that other person, your bodily injury liability coverage will compensate that other person for their losses. But that insurance is not required in the state of Florida. We're one of, I think, 2 states in the entire country that doesn't have it. Don't ask me why. It makes no sense, but we don't, which is why you should always purchase uninsured motorist coverage, which is coverage that will pay you, compensate you for your bills, your lost wages, your medical expenses in the past and the future in the event you are hit by somebody that doesn't have insurance or does not have enough bodily injury liability insurance to compensate you.
Great advice here on Law Call tonight.